Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all well. Today we are doing another review for a show that I've seen recently. Why am I putting in inverted commas? We'll explain in a minute. But today we're here to share my thoughts and my feelings on Waitress the UK Tour. So if you want to know what I thought of the show, stick around and we'll get into it in 2 whole seconds. So, like I said, we are back with another review. Why did I put in inverted commas? Why did I do the air quote thing? Let's get into it. Let's do it really super fast. So, for every show that I see, I like to do 2 separate videos, time and willing permitted. The first one of those is what was on last. That is the Nervous Guide. The Nervous Guide is everything you need to know about a show before you go in. Be that content warnings, sensory warnings, view from my seat, information about the show, anything that might help you prior to going into said show. The second video is this one. This is the review. Review is always put in inverted commas because at the end of the day I'm in no way professional. I just like talking about theatre, and sometimes I see theatre alone. When you see it alone, you don't have a chance to talk about the things you enjoyed, the things you maybe not have enjoyed as much, not the best English, people you enjoyed, performances you enjoyed, etc. That is this video. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's talk all things Waitress. So long story short, I have been in love with this show for a very long time. Let's get it out of the way. This tour is kind of the 10th anniversary tour is how they're placing it. On the programme it's got 10th anniversary, established in 2016. I believe that is, however, the just a general waitressness anniversary of it all, be it either on this side of the pond or the other, because my knowledge and my reckoning is that it came to the UK and was in the Adelphi in London in 2019, or at least that is the first time that I put it in my list of shows that I have seen, and prior to that it was the home of Kinky Boots, which is where I spend a lot of my time. So like I said, I saw it first in March 2019 and have been in love with it ever since. The music of this show, the music and lyrics of this show have been written by Sarah Bareilles. I love her, like, not genre, but I love her style of music. It's kind of a little bit funky, a little bit country, a little quite guitar based. It's just my kind of music. And the way it's all been put together in this musical is just top notch. The book of this show is by Jessie Nelson and it's also based on a film which I have never seen. I probably should have by this point, but I haven't. This is actually the second time that they have toured Waitress since they closed it in the West End. Again, according to my list of shows, because it also had a tour in 2022 I believe is the time frame for that one, which I also saw of that tour. If there is a chance for me to get to Waitress, I will get there. This production, this tour production that is currently running, works on the same feel as it was in the West End, and assume as it was in America on Broadway back in the day. The set looks really similar. You still get the stunning curtain of piness. This staging feels slightly smaller. I could be wrong in that aspect, but it did feel like there wasn't as many moving parts, and everything just felt a little bit on the dinkier side than it has previously. I could be wrong, it might be exactly the same set as last tour and even the last time it was in London, I do not know. But there was a small feeling aspect, but it still uses the same choreography as previous productions, which is done by Lauren Lataro, which is always iconic to me. The way everything just moves and flows, and there's like no simple movements, everything just stunning. The set is also very similar, if not the same, to every other production, which has been designed by Scott Pask. I've written in my notes, it literally feels like being back at the Adelphi 7 years ago, because it just has that same like homey feeling that I used to get being in the Adelphi back in the day. Although I do still, to this day, kind of miss the smell of pie as you walk into a theatre, because that was something special. Cast for this show, we have a pretty much entirely new cast. She says there is some similarities which we'll get into, but they are different people doing these roles. Let's get into it. I don't know where that sentence is going. Let's first start with Jenna and Dr. Pomatter, the two romantic leads in inverted commas, because this is not this like the happy-go-lucky romantic story that you are used to me rambling on about, because I do love a bit of love. For this production, they are currently, and definitely until September according to the website, being played by Carrie Hope Fletcher as Jenna, which is at the moment the possible change, and also Dan Partridge, who plays Dr. Pomatter. I have obviously seen both of these performances before. Carrie I've seen in multiple things through the years, from the likes of Addams Family and more recently Calamity Jane, and I have seen Dan in Kinky Boots during the tour last year. I enjoy both performances and performers. However, for me personally, and I know this is going to shoot me in the foot probably, but at the end of the day it's my opinion, they weren't my favourite two people who have done the roles. I always enjoy listening to Carrie's voice, and this was the same for this show, and there was nothing necessarily wrong with their performances, both her and Dan. But for me personally, and I have seen many, so I probably shouldn't judge a book or a person by person, that's not the story, yeah, anyway, but they were great performances, they just weren't my favourite of the people who I've seen be Jenna or Dr. Pomatter. Moving on, the other person that they have been putting on all of the posters and PR and in the world, if you will, I assume it's on PR, I am not on any PR list, is alongside Carrie. They have been putting that Les Dennis is starring. Les Dennis in this show is Old Joe. Old Joe is one of those characters that doesn't really say a lot / do a lot. He is just the grumpy old man who owns the diner and has one key song, which is Take It From An Old Man, which again, don't ask me why, but it has always been one of my favourite songs in the show. It's something special about it. For the most part, the way that Les does the song is kind of speaky talky singing, which is okay, and I still cried at it, but as me and my friend was saying, at the end of the day he is more of an actor than a musician, and sometimes that it's okay. If it gets bums on seats, then it's all good, and if there's more bums on seats, more people will see the show, and maybe they'll go, ooh, we need to put it out again in a couple of years. Don't leave me too long, Waitress. Sandra Marvin and Evelyn Hoskins play the roles of Becky and Dawn. They have both played these roles, I think, together, but definitely at other times. Becky and Dawn are the friends, the best friends if you will, of Jenna, and it was just really nice to see both of them again. I love both of them for their lives. I don't know. Moving on to the three men, or three last named men if you will, by the name of Dan O'Brien, Mark Wiltshire and Mark Anson. Dan plays Cal. Cal is one of those characters who isn't like a massive one, but I just always have a soft spot for. I don't know why. Don't question it any further, but I've always been a fan of Cal, and Dan helped that again. Always a good time. Mark Wiltshire plays the role of Earl. I believe I've seen in the past Mark do this role, whether it was his cover role back in the day, because according to the programme and according also to my brain, Mark has played it previously. He was cover Earl in the West End cast, original West End cast, which probably means that's where it's been. I saw the original West End cast quite a few times, so it was a joy to see Mark play Earl again. However, after the two Marks, my favourite was Mark Anderson. He played Ogie. Ogie is one of those characters who, again, I feel like I have the biggest soft spot for. He is kooky, he is a little bit weird, but he is just so sweet and innocent, and every time the person who is Ogie always will make me laugh, and this is no exception. Mark Anderson is a great Ogie, hands down. The ensemble of this show works well and is hardworking as always. If they're not moving set or doing the fantastic choreography I've previously mentioned, they are doing multiple different things: background acting, background singing, offstage vocals, moving, yeah, top notch as always. And I do have to give props to one of the ensemble members by the name of, and I'm going to probably butcher this and I truly apologise in advance, Jochebel Sante, who was second cover Nurse Norma, and had her first two performances on the day that I saw it. So I saw her do Nurse Norma for the second time on the stage. She absolutely smashed it. Nurse Norma is a hilarious, slightly judgy human being, and I just cracked up so much at it. It was just absolutely brilliant. Yeah, top notch, hilarious. This tour is currently running until the 31st of October. I believe it finishes in Salford. I probably get this wrong. I will try and remember to leave the link down below to the tour website. With Carrie currently set to start until the 26th of September. After that, it just says Carrie to, no, it says like Jenna to be announced. So I don't know the situation. So yes, that is the current situation. I, as a lover of this show, will always recommend seeing it. I think very much like 75% of my audience had never seen Waitress before sitting in that seat that night, because there are times where you get a little bit of a twist or a movement in like a shift in the story. There was quite a lot of oohs and ooh. Yeah, so it's always nice to have a new audience seeing this show to go alongside the people like me who have seen it far too many times in our lives. I say far too many times, but I haven't seen any show more than 10. I don't think I've gone into double figures for anything yet, but I must be getting close with a couple. Anyway, I'm going to round this video off here. Like I said, or if I haven't already, I would recommend seeing this version of the show. Waitress is just a weird warm hug in a show, but not with the happy ending you want to have. Or it is a happy ending, but not in the same ilk as many of the shows that I love. It's a satisfying ending. There we go. Right, rounding off because I'm just burying myself in a hole. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you come back. If you have any questions on Waitress or on this production, ask them down below. I will always try and strive to answer them as soon as possible. But other than that, I'm going to leave this video here. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you come back. And finally, as always, we have so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, and goodbye. Bye everybody.